Hello everybody, welcome again to another writing masterclass by me, Jared, from Queen's Academy in Valencia. And today we're going to look at the informal email, very popular choice for my students. A lot of people find the informal email an easier option for the part 2 writing. So what is an informal email? An informal email is an option in writing part 2 of the B2 Cambridge exam. It is usually an email you send to a friend to ask for or give information. Here are some facts about informal emails which are always true. 140 to 190 words, 180 words, the magic number for me. Informal in style, so we use contractions, phrasal verbs, relaxed language. It's a good opportunity to use all that free and easy language. We'll talk about it in the video and I'll talk to you about some examples. Need to use expressions for greetings and goodbyes. We'll talk about all of this in the video. So here's an example question. Let's look at it together. You have received an email from your English-speaking friend Tom. As you know, my mum and dad own a restaurant and want me to work there when I leave college. However, I'm still really keen to be a journalist. What do you think I should do? So the first job is to analyze the question and highlight the important things that you need to talk about in your email, like this. So, mum and dad own the restaurant, want him to work there. He wants to be a journalist, please help me. So you have to tick all these things. You can't do a writing and ignore one of these points. And it seems simple, like, why are you telling us this? Well, a lot of my students forget to do these simple things, and it's so important. If you want to pass the exam, you have to answer the question correctly. Let's talk about some things that we need to say in informal emails. So, greetings, saying hello. Simple. Say, hey, Tom, or hi, Tom. That's it. One of those is absolutely fine. You don't need to say dear or anything formal. Hi or hey. First lines. How's it going? How are you doing? It's great to hear from you. Long time no see. I really like that expression. Sorry I haven't written for ages, but I've been really busy at school. I've been studying. Something like this. I'm really sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you. Thanks for your email or your letter. Something like this to break the ice of an email. So always write something like this at the beginning. Reacting to what they said. I'm glad to hear that. I'm so pleased that. What wonderful news if it's a positive thing. I'm so sorry to hear. Sorry to read. Like in this example, you could say something like, oh, sorry to read about the problem you're having. This is a very difficult decision, blah, blah, blah. What a shock about, I can't believe. Obviously, depends on the context of the question. If the email said, oh no, my grandmother died. I don't know why that made me laugh. My grandmother died. Then you would say, what a shock about your grandmother. I can't believe that your grandmother is dead. Hopefully that's not the topic of the writing. Anyway, further points. By the way, did you hear about one more thing? I almost forgot to mention. You won't believe it, but lots of great things to say. And signing off, saying bye-bye. Really good expressions here. I should get going now. Ooh, I should get going. Very nice. I'd best be off. Very informal. I'd best be off. I'd better get going. I'll talk to you soon. Get in touch. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. All my love, all the best. Hugs and kisses. See you soon. Most of the time, people say the last one. See you soon. But be different. Be better. Say, I should get going now. Or I best be off. This is very impressive. What other language is useful in an informal email? I'll tell you. Functional language number 1. Good adverb, quantifier, and adjective structures. For example, incredibly exciting. Wow, that's incredibly exciting news. That's an absolutely insane amount of money. What terribly upsetting news you've told me. That's a particularly interesting choice. These are ways to improve your adjective structures or your with a quantifier or an adverb. The last one there, pretty or quite, is like saying very or a bit, depending on the context. And then phrasal verbs. Yes, yes, yes. This is a great opportunity to use phrasal verbs. And you probably think, oh no, I hate phrasal verbs, but don't. Love them. I might do a video later with lots and lots of phrasal verbs for you. Okay, let's look at some here. Let's catch up soon. Perfect for this kind of writing. I can't keep up with all the changes. What a letdown, disappointment. Well, you have to come up with the answer. Think of. I'm not going to go through all of them. This is a video about writing structure, but look at these expressions, type them in the internet, find out what they mean, and use them. And this final one here, I look forward to seeing you soon. This is a great sentence for two reasons. One, it's something that we say quite a lot to our friends when we write to them or speak to them on the phone, and it's a way of saying, I'm very excited to see you. But it looks weird because you say, I look forward to, and then an ing form. And that's why it's a great sentence, because you're showing the examiner you understand that strange difference. And it's not typical that this happens, but it's a really good expression. Okay, functional language 2. Invitational language and giving advice. Yes, this is probably something you will always do in an informal email. They want help, they want suggestions, they want ideas. So you can say any of these things. It would be my pleasure to help. I would suggest trying this medicine. How about going to the cinema? Blah, 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 blah. Look at them all. Read them, understand them, use them in your writing. Conditional structures. I will show you in a minute my favorite ones, but it's your job to read these, understand them. If you understand them already, perfect. Use them in your informal emails. Okay, look at this example email for the question we talked about. What do you think is good about it? So, pause the video and read. Welcome back. I hope you paused the video. I'm going to show you what's good about this writing. So, 162 words. I said before 180 was the sweet spot, but this is so fantastic. No errors, 162, no problem. That's the risk. If you write too little or lower to 140, you'd better be good. You had better be good. So there's a nice variety of language, no errors, greetings, signing off, and lots of contractions. I've underlined everything great about that writing. And you probably read it and think, whoa, I can't write like this. Yes, you can. You can try. But this is a near perfect or perfect example. So that's top marks, 10 out of 10. Very, very good. Let's look at a bad one. Now, pause the video and read this. Hello again. Okay, you probably read that and thought, this is terrible. I would never write like this. But you would be surprised how many students I've taught, even at B2 level, who write like this. And it is very annoying. Not typical, but it does happen sometimes. So this is too relaxed. Sup, what's up? Don't say this, just say hi or hey. Bad grammar, didn't answer the question fully, didn't sign off at the end. What's going on? Not enough words, really bad. This is a typical A2 level. So why are they in a B2 class? That's the question. But sometimes people's writing suffers and they improve other areas and they neglect their writing skills. So it can happen, but I'm sure you will feel confident that you can write better than this. Okay, preparation for your emails. Spend a few minutes really thinking about what you're going to write. Make notes of important language items you want to include. For example, the greetings, first lines. Phrasal verbs, maybe 3 is a good amount. Think of 3 that you really like, write them down, and think of a way to include them. Interesting structures you want to have in there. A conditional, maybe some present perfect tense, some past tenses, relative clauses, contrast clauses. Maybe you think, what is this? Search on Google and find out what that is and use them in your writing and your speaking. Signing off, all those things. Tick, tick, tick. This is in your preparation so you do a good writing. Okay, my favorite informal email language, my personal expressions that I love. I always teach my students this. So, it's great to hear from you. It's been a while. Perfect. First line. So, hey Tom, it's great to hear from you. It's been a while. Then you start answering the questions. If you want, if you like, if you prefer, we can go. You could try. You could use a conditional. This is a first conditional for something that's possible, like a plan, if they're coming to visit you. If you want, we can go to the cinema. If you like, we can eat pizza on Friday. You can also use second conditional if you go 2 down. If I were you, I would try this. If I were you, I would spend less money, whatever the problem is. Go back up. I'm so pleased that you have decided, present perfect, I'm so pleased that you have decided to make a change. I'm so pleased that you have bought a new cat. I don't know what the question will say, but try and include this. To catch up, meet up, hang out, spend time doing something. Normally, this is typical in an informal email. If it's a friend, eventually you're going to want to hang out, meet up, spend time together. So this is a good structure to include. And get 2 adverbs in there somewhere. Incredibly exciting. Absolutely incredible. If you read your writing and at the end there's no adverbs, no. Include adverbs. I always tell my students 2 or 3, get them in there. Nice. Marking writing. So this is the same as in any video I've done so far. This is boring stuff. All you need to know is you need 60% to pass. That's all. And your 60% is being graded in 4 different areas: your content, communication, language, and organization. You can read that there. You can decide for yourself if you are ticking these boxes. It's very difficult to get maximum in language. You will make mistakes, but that's okay. You can fail language, but you need to get maximum points in the other areas, and it's not too difficult. And content is not really about your English. It's about, are you answering the question properly? Have you included things that are relevant to the task? So it's not an English mark, which is something to think about. Okay, an example question for you to try. So read this question, underline the important things, do a little plan for a few minutes, and write your email. Then copy paste into ChatGPT. Sorry, I'm admitting that AI is useful. And get ChatGPT to tell you if it's good or bad and show you your mistakes, things like this. Alternatively, you could write it and send it to me, and I'll mark your writing for €5. Very cheap. Just write a comment on the videos or send a private message or follow the academy on Instagram, Queen's English Academy in Valencia. And I'm happy to check your writing. I love marking writings. So very good. I think I've gone through this quite quickly. Apologies, but it's all there. Maybe you can slow down the video to 0.5 or whatever, -1. And good luck in your B1 exams, everyone. Use this video to remember. It says review structure. I've used the same thing from my previous video. Use a video to remember email structure. And if you live in Valencia, Spain, come to Queen's Academy for an English course. Thank you so much. Until next time.